y'all knew it was only a matter of time before I made a little quick video on the situation with Snoop Dogg. Okay, double OG. Uh, you know, between Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, the conservatism coonery that has been coming out, on one hand, people can say it's shocking, but then when you really sit down and think about it, this is toxic masculinity, this is patriarchy 101, this is misogyny and homophobia 101. It's really not that off putting, to be completely honest. You mean to tell me that the niggas with attitude who literally came out in the mid 80s glorifying drugs, treating women like trash, bitches and hoes, who bragging about all the women that they're sleeping with and all of their sex escapades, drugs and gang culture. Yeah, you really can't be that surprised that, the men who created that garbage 40 years ago would be also full of shit 40 years later. I'm just being real. Like, and it's funny. This man is criticizing LGBTQ plus representation in children's films. Meanwhile, you literally have made an entire career on promoting negative shit that has single handedly destroyed the black community. I'm just going to be real. Like, yeah, we can talk about racism, but we also need to admit some of the ish that's wrong with our own black community is us and the ish that we promote and perpetuate in our own communities while simultaneously worrying about, oh my god, I don't want this queer ish to be pushed on my kids. And what is this doing in a movie? Meanwhile, growing up as an intersex trans kid who happens to be gay, my entire life looking at Disney movies, nothing but cisgendered heterosexual bullshit was constantly pushed in my face. And you know what's crazy is years of growing up in that, I still didn't turn out to be cisgendered or heterosexual. So clearly, just because somebody sees something on television, just because somebody hears something in a song, doesn't mean they're going to be what they hear and see. Case in point, I grew up listening to hip hop and rap. My mom used to constantly blast, NWA, The Chronic, the whole 9 yards. And guess what? Am I a blood or a Crip gangbanger? Am I treating women like shit and calling them bitches and hoes? No. Am I selling drugs and destroying the black community? No. But because I'm gay, apparently I am the big boogie man. I'm the horror that everyone's been telling you to be afraid about, and I'm the one that's contributing to the downfall of the family. Not the fact that, cis men continue to be deadbeats, continue to ejaculate in women they don't want to be with, creating a bunch of unwanted kids. No, that's actually what the heterosexual cishet, men and women are doing. It's not the gay, queer, trans folks that are having all of these kids that nobody wants, creating broken families, generation after generation. No, that's you heterosexual cisgender folks. That's kind of y'all thing, right? Scapegoating your behaviors off on entire demographics of people who aren't doing any of the things you're claiming they're doing. Um, and then it's just wild to me because, and this is what I mean by why is it that LGBTQ plus people, we are always in straight people's heads permanently? You are so focused on what somebody else is doing with their body or who they're sleeping with as a cisgendered heterosexual man. It's a bit weird because why are you concerned about who's gay, who's lesbian, who's trans? What does that have to do with your cishet ass? Again, a lot of y'all are obsessed with the very things you claim to not like. It's giving come out the fucking closet. That's what it's giving, but that's a whole nother episode in of itself. Because a lot of these dudes be having insecurities about their own sexuality, which is why they're always talking about queer people, gay people, lesbian people, trans people. Because people who are secure with their sexuality don't have to constantly bring up another person's sexuality and or gender identity 24/7 in conversations that don't even have anything to do with it, but yet you're the one bringing it up. And then when people, check mark your useless pathetic ass, then you want to sit up and look stupid. This man is 50 something years old, still perpetuating the same misogynistic bullshit. But in the same breath, I'm sure he doesn't want his daughter to be called a hoe, a slut, a cum rag. Okay? Literally, murder was the case that they gave me. I mean, all your music is bragging about destructive, dysfunctional shit. Hey, literally, all through the late 80s, mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, into the 20 teens, into the 2020s, you have been doing the same mess. At what time do you grow up and mature? You a damn senior citizen damn near, and you still sitting up talking about getting high and fuck the bitches and the hoes at 50 something years old. That's what you're doing. But you so concerned that there may be some queer representation in a cartoon or a movie or a film or a show, as if everything is supposed to be about the princess meeting Prince Charming, which is that not cis heterosexuality being pushed on kids? Like, why do we need to see that every damn day? Since we're so concerned about what children should be seeing and viewing and what's age appropriate. Well, how is it appropriate for us to see a prince and a princess kissing on film at 5 years old in a Disney movie? How is that any different? How is that any different? We'll wait. How is that different? Again, inquiring minds would like to know. How is that any different, Snoop? Or the fact that you still look malnourished. How is that any different? Hey, you get to bring up irrelevant shit, I get to bring up irrelevant shit, right? I just have to bring it up because I'm just like, I know as a queer person, I'm not the only one where it's just like, damn, we really be minding our own business. And then here comes a supposed heterosexual cisgender male constantly bringing up what queer people are doing. You are obsessed. Then when you see Ice Cube cooning and buffooning for the conservatives, it's just like, wow, all of this from F the police, young brother got it bad because he brown, just for you to turn around and be friends with the popo years later. Y'all are some of the biggest hypocrites and walking contradictions ever. Like, it's insane. But again, I've been saying this for years. When you listen to a lot of these rap artists, a lot of these cisgendered males, hip hop artists, they are conservatives. The only issues that they really want to talk about is racism and the police having issues with them being black cisgendered males. Other than that, they're misogynistic. They hate women. I mean, hello, listen to the hip hop. Listen to rap. Bitches this. Fuck that hoe. Fuck that bitch. There is no respect for women whatsoever. But then they want to get mad when women also come back and start saying fuck niggas. Now all of a sudden, oh my god, it's Miss Andre. Oh my god. After you done spent decades talking about bitches ain't shit and money over bitches. And then some of y'all are screaming money over bitches and you have neither. Just, you broke and you lonely with the cis male loneliness epidemic. I'm just saying. At some point, looking in the mirror and realizing you're the problem is going to be a step in the right direction. Sooner or later, taking accountability is going to be the only option you have because this is ridiculous. Okay? And you cannot tell me Snoop was not cheating on his wife. You can't tell me he wasn't. You literally sitting up bragging about all the hoes you sleeping with. You, Dre, all of y'all are in one. Like I said, birds of a feather flock together, honey. So you can't tell me you wasn't also participating in these trains and these, you know. But anyways, I just wanted to make a quick video on that because again, apparently, as usual, it's the lesbians, it's the gays, it's the trans, it's the bis, it's the queer community that is destroying the family structure. Never mind that you have a man that has been rapping about destroying the family structure for over 30 years. Never mind that, my nigga. We going for 3+ decades of you doing rapping and talking about the same ish. Now you in your 50s doing interviews complaining that there's lesbian representation in a cartoon film. As if you are, family friendly. Yes, the chronic weed Crip gang member is trying to tell somebody about what's family friendly. I swear you cannot make this ish up, but this is what's happening on. And once again, somehow it's always the queer's fault, right? Like we minding our business, us existing is a problem. Okay. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Information is in the description box below. I'm just sick and tired of the hypocrisy and double standards.